2 months from today, by the way. It's July 8th, the first NFL Sunday, September 8th. You're like, what's your favorite day in sports? The 17 NFL Sundays of the year are my 17 favorite days in sports. It's just 11 hours of wall-to-wall NFL football. And so, it's around this time, if you haven't already, because some of these numbers move, where you can start looking at, I'm going to take positions on some of these teams. So I thought, I'll give you my 3 favorite overs and 3 favorite unders for this upcoming season. And then if nothing else, you can hold it against me come December or January once we see whether or not these predictions have gone well or terribly. So we'll start with the teams that I think will exceed expectations on their number. And we will start with the Super Bowl favorites, the Kansas City Chiefs. This stat, in fact, I feel like does not get nearly enough attention. I know it does in the gambling world, but I'm talking mainstream. So the Chiefs over-under is at 11.5. Andy Reid now has been there a while. He has signed multiple contract extensions since getting to Kansas City. The Chiefs have gone over their win total every single season that Andy Reid is there. They upgraded at receiver. They led the league in drops last year. They have Patrick Mahomes. They have Chris Jones. They have Travis Kelce. They dominate their own division. They have every motivation in the world for the three-peat. The elusive perfect season is still out there for them. You never know how much longer Travis Kelce is going to play. I will not be picking against an Andy Reid team from hitting the over when he's done it every single year he's been in Kansas City. The next team gets so much talk, so much attention, but all for things that don't really matter on the field. Dallas Cowboys over 10.5 wins. They've won 12 straight. They've won 12 games 3 straight years. No, they win 11. That would still be an over. The talk is, okay, they brought back Zeke Elliott and they lost Tony Pollard. It's a downgrade. They lost a couple of offensive linemen. I'm in agreement. It's a downgrade. The team did not get better. They've been stuck in quicksand this offseason. But I think Philly's going to get worse. We'll get to them in a second. The rest of the division is still bad. And they led the league in points last year. They're a good regular season team. The problem is the playoffs. I think Dallas goes over 10.5 wins. And then the Atlanta Falcons are my third over that I absolutely love. I've actually said that this team reminds me of last year's Detroit Lions. I'm not saying that they're going to make it all the way to the NFC Championship game, but while the NFC North has now caught up a little bit to Detroit, the NFC South has not caught up to Atlanta. This is a division last year that Tampa won with 9 wins. Big middle class in this division for years with a bunch of 7, 8, 9-win teams. No one's been very good. But what did they do? They upgraded at quarterback. They upgraded at head coach. They upgraded at play caller with Zach Robinson. And they're trying this crazy thing, getting the ball to their best players. That's the goal right now in Atlanta. So Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, they're going to get the ball. They also upgraded at depth at wide receiver. Michael Penix is a backup to Kirk Cousins. I think top to bottom, that team is dominant in the NFC South. For the unders, the teams that I think will underachieve this year, we'll go back to the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles. Second consecutive season of losing both coordinators. Something's just wrong in Philly. And replacing Jason Kelce, the heart and soul of that team, that's the one that gets a lot of attention. DeAndre Swift, Hassan Reddick, Fletcher Cox, Kevin Byard. They lost a lot of veteran leadership. They lost a lot of experience. The finish to last season was an absolute disaster. And we haven't seen Jalen Hurts with less than ideal conditions in terms of players around him on offense. So I think Philly takes a step back this upcoming season with huge expectations. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, the other team in the state of Pennsylvania, everyone knows Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record. It's going to change this year. The total there is 8.5 wins. I don't think the quarterback for 2025 is actually on Pittsburgh right now. Russell Wilson, way too conservative at the end of his time in Denver. Justin Fields, I do radio in Chicago, watched every snap that this guy took. Unbelievable guy, unbelievable athlete. Doesn't get to the second and third and fourth progression. So I think the 2025 quarterback for the Steelers is neither of those two guys. That's going to lead to dysfunction. That's going to lead to them experimenting with things. They're going to be moving pieces around. I think it's going to be the worst year that Tomlin's ever had in Pittsburgh. That's an under team for sure. And what I do think the AFC North best division in football. And then this is a low total to go under on. But the New England Patriots at 4.5, I think this is a 1, 2, maybe 3-win team. How are they going to score? They were the worst offense in the NFL last year. It's a first-time head coach. They used a first-round pick on Drake May, who I love. I think he's got all the makings of a great quarterback in 3 or 4 years. But they shouldn't play him because they don't have anyone to protect him and they don't have skill position talent around him. But the start of their schedule, at Cincy, home against Seattle, at the Jets, at the Niners, home Dolphins, home Texans, that feels like 1-5 at best to start. Then they'll feel pressure to play Drake May early. That will go poorly because he's not ready for that and he doesn't have enough help around him. I think it's going to be a real tough year to score the ball. Defense is good, but no points, got to score to win. I think it's going to be a problem for the New England Patriots. I like their under at 4.5 wins.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.